With profound, humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace. Etc.
Supreme Master TV Max. Maximize your blessings at home, work, and anywhere.
All of you should try to set up your telephone. You go onto the site for suprememastertv.com/max or Folia, Pocha, Livia. Then you can set up your computer or even your handy smartphone without SIM into 40 quadrillion screens of Supreme Master Television. The dots are very, very small, but there are 40 quadrillion screens behind them. And if you have several no SIM phones set up on that, then it's a lot.
Other inventive ways to multiply the 40 quadrillion Supreme Master TV screens. When you go to www.suprememastertv.com/max, click the button that is for your device. One is for PC or Android phone or tablet. The other is for Apple iOS phone or tablet and any other device. Under that, you can click on the 1 + 3 times max button to see one big screen of Supreme Master TV Live that you can watch and listen to as usual, together with 3 smaller screens of 40 quadrillion each. Enjoy our TV and the immense blessing at the same time. The offline button downloads the video to your device to keep the positive energy flowing without internet connection. The NX Max button shows many screens of 40 quadrillion for super multiplied blessings. Please tell all you know, all others, so this can help the whole world to be saved. Print out a Supreme Master TV Max card to distribute wherever you go, for example, if it is safe for you.
That kind of concentrated, huge, incredible energy will bless your home, bless your environment, your village, your town, or your city. And if many people do that, to bless your country, bless the world, then our world will have less disasters, less war, more happiness, more intelligence, and more abundant blessings in our life. Just try it and you'll see the miracles that will happen.
To utilize this tool free of charge, please visit suprememastertv.com/max or youtube.com/@folia999/streams.
Hello, our dearest loved ones. Nice to talk to you again and know that you are there, that we could be friends. Some are already friends. Hello, friends. Future friends. Hello, future friends. Yeah, it's just there are some nice news I would like to share with you, especially with my own God's disciples, loyal friends, and awesome assistants for the Supreme Master Television so that you can enjoy, the whole world can enjoy. Now, ask me what's the good news. I have, yeah, good news and bad news. So the good news first, hey? Good news always makes us happy, yeah. The good news is that 5 days ago we had another victory over another unpleasant word. It's called the disturbing peace word, meaning the word that is specialized in disturbing other people and other words. And that word is almost like the fighting word that we had just kind of dissolved. This word also has no souls. The entities here have no souls. And they have 958,922 entities total, including leaders and subordinates. They have no souls. No souls. It's easier to demolish these kinds of words because they are in astro-like forms, meaning they don't have a physical, touchable body like what we have in this physical domain. Even then, I say it's easy, meaning, meaning what? Meaning easier than here. But it doesn't mean that it's completely that easy. I wish it was so easy. Even then, with God's grace, God's will, and many assistants, such as His Majesty the Karma King, meaning the king who manages the karmas of all beings, and with His Majesty the King of Security. We have so many kings in the universes, and I don't have enough time to write it all down for you. Besides, I don't think it's very necessary. Most of these kings, they are benevolent, and they have absolute respect and love for me. Yes, because I'm the king of kings of kings of kings. And also because I am the king of Dharma turning wheel. Thus, I also have power to eliminate some of them when they make trouble and disturb other worlds around them, especially when they disturb this world, because this world has less defenses. You see, it's more helpless, even though the people, the beings in this world have so much power, so much power. It's like gazillionaires, but they don't know that they have it, because either they are too young, like a baby, or a child that cannot have any power over that immense property, immense financial richness, or that they are not made to be aware of, or they are deliberately made to be unaware of, like our humans in this world, that the Maya web is cast over them, so they don't remember much of where they truly came from and what they truly are as great beings, the children of God. Now, not to worry about that. Some of them want to wait for eons and eons upon eons before they realize that. No matter how much we tell them, they will not understand and they will not want to accept it. It's hard for them. So we just have to let it be. Remember, there's a film called Astro City, where the doctor died, and then he went to another world full of very unfriendly or nasty and fighty beings in the Astro Dark domain. The Astro level has 120 plus different domains belonging to the Astro level of consciousness. Some are very bad, like hell, and some are lower heaven, some are higher still, some are magical, full of magical abilities, some are just fairy-like, yeah, and some are benevolent. The astral world is next to our world, so sometimes the astral beings can come and go to our planet and make trouble or do good. It depends. Oh, one moment, my battery is running low. I come back in a second. You see, we have overcome many obstacles and have won many battles. But still, this world is a complicated place, And we can't always win, or we cannot win enough yet. But the day will come that we will have more power over all these obstacles and Maya illusion. Remember long ago I told you that the zealous demons world with their king left the battlefield, meaning they're not fighting anymore with humans or any other beings on this planet. They retired and went to the African mountains. Remember? That's one word. And many, many months later on, another world also left this battle fighting. They went to the world beyond the third level of consciousness, yes, meaning forever liberated, they went there. And other words, never mind, some are smaller and some are bigger. It just takes some effort and time. And the most powerful and the most hard to deal with is surprisingly the human world, our world, your world, full of humans. And then humans also sometimes make mistakes and degrade themselves into the quality that they have been too much attached to or entangled with. Like in a lower world, animal people world, then they became animal people. And then they came back and forth, etc. Yeah. So it's difficult to kind of elevate them all at once, all in one go. Yeah, difficult like that. But we've been there, we've been winning, even though it was a very, very terrifying and exhausting battle. The disturbing peace world entities, they are stronger than the fighting world. The fighting world, they're also generally fighting among themselves. They have their give and take or something. And that's their mentality, their quality, their makeup, their vibe is of those fighty beings. So they keep fighting with each other and then they fight also with whoever's nearby, like our world nearby. Our world is very near the astral world, and therefore many of the qualities of the astral fighting world or hellish world also influence our planet a lot, influence the mental, physical, psychological, and emotional state of being of the humans and other beings in this world. Now we have kind of less and less troubled beings and troubled world, which influence and sometimes bully our planet, sometimes make bad influence, sometimes enchant our world, people or animal people, and even trees and rocks. Sometimes the tree doesn't want to, but then some people pass by, branches would break and fall on that person and injure him or kill him. And some animal people, sometimes they don't want to fight humans. They respect humans a lot. But then some bad entity enters their psyche or enters their beings and makes them do things that are harmful to humans against their will. Because some animal people don't have that much willpower. Even though they call humans the crown of the creation, the most powerful of all beings, they still are weak. So sometimes they give in to other bad beings. And then we call these humans like possessed or enchanted, or they become lost to the devils, or maybe they sold themselves to the devils, yes. Even though they call humans the crown of the creation, the most powerful of all beings, they still are weak. So sometimes they give in to other bad beings, yes. And then we call these humans like possessed or enchanted, or they become lost to the devils, or maybe they sold themselves to the devils, yes. And now, first, if you have a false master, it's not like, okay, you don't worry about it. You should, because that force master, sometimes she is a demon and she doesn't have any soul. And then they might use your soul to do bad stuff. And slowly, you give in and then you weak and you die and they take over the whole soul and you lost forever. And while you're still living, they will use you to do all kinds of things that are very bad for you and create very bad affinity, bad karma for you against your will. So be careful whom you follow, eh? I have told this for many years, sometimes told different things, including these things. And also recently concerning, that Rumachi, Tangtam, San John, whatever, yes, using people to do bad stuff and create havoc for the country where they reside. Yeah, I'm sorry for Vietnam sometimes. But it's getting better now because we try, to clear the dark cloud over the country. So it's probably having less and less trouble. But the thing is, actually, heavens and benevolent beings are trying hard to protect you humans. And then also bless humans and others a lot. And I could have won earlier, easier, but I don't have much help from the humans. That is the thing. If they truly help, indirectly, like become benevolent, don't kill others, don't kill animals, people, don't damage the environment, we could have won long ago already. And I could probably have gone home already and taken a rest and enjoy my life. Yeah, nevertheless, we try until the last minute. In Vietnam, we say còn nước, còn tác, meaning even if there's a little water left in the pond, you still continue to extract it and put it in your field. In Vietnam, many areas still use the old traditional way of planting rice, for example, yeah? And in their field, they would have dug a pond, a small pond in the corner, and the water is so clear, so clean, oh, beautiful, and so cool. Sometimes we went there, we go inside and take a bath when I was a kid. And there would be two farmers, either man or woman. They have some instrument like a bucket, but made by, nowadays maybe plastic. I don't know, but in my time, they used just bamboo to make a basket. And then they just scoop the water from that pond and just put it into their rice field. And just do it manually like that. So a bowl of rice costs a lot of labor work. Now I'm grown up, I appreciate things more from the farmers. When I was young, I just didn't think too much, didn't feel grateful or anything. Nowadays, even if I drop one or two grains of cooked rice on the floor, I feel sorry because I treasure what I eat. Especially in some difficult situations, cooking is more difficult than usual. More difficult than when you have a room, or an apartment like before. Yes. I also live sometimes in a more frugal situation, like in the Himalayas. Sometimes in the Himalayas, a very high mountain. Even if you cook with some wood, it doesn't boil very fast. Sometimes not at all, just warm up because it's too cold. So when people go to such a high Himalayan mountain, they must have very big log of wood, to live on all day. Or they have to have a strong, powerful gas stove because there's no electricity up there. And they use the snow, clean snow area to cook in a pot. Otherwise, you can't have food up there. Just eat raw. Sometimes I had to eat raw. So I was very happy, I was happy. And I am grateful to God's grace and all the masters to make all that happen, that we have victory. And I'm thankful to all the gods and goddesses and all the deities, all the heavenly armies, and His Majesty, King of Karma, His Majesty, the King of Security, for example, etc. They were very helpful. So when I say I have a victory, it doesn't mean I alone did it, but we are all together as one entity. So I could say that because they're one with me, like one hand together. Yes. And I also forgot to tell you other things. After we defeated and destroyed the fighting world, so much cheering came to my attention. And they say, love from your loving word, love from your loving word, love from your loving word. They say that to me. Of course, we have to thank God Almighty and all the gods and goddesses and kings in heavens and earth, okay? But I never thought they would say your loving word, meaning their loving word becomes my word. Actually, this word has been created long, zillion years ago, before humans came into being. And even though they have more entities, more population than the fighting world, they are not made to fight, so they didn't know how. You see, they have very powerful vibes. I have created them to put in this world, to keep this world powerful, in harmony and peace. But slowly, humans also came from other dimensions. And then they slowly became coarser and coarser in their manner, and being became more and more physical. And with the physical bodies, the brain, the environment, came the necessity to live in a physical domain, which they are not used to. Originally, they were not physically solid like what the humans are right now. They could fly anywhere. They didn't have to eat anything. They were always happy together. Until slowly, the atmosphere of the environment affected them. And then they saw things growing around the planet. They ate them, and they became coarser and coarser. And so they became the so beautiful humans that we are seeing right now. When we see a beautiful girl, a handsome man, we say, oh, they're beautiful. But they're nothing compared to how they look like before. All right, those are sad things, but never mind. They can become divine again, because inside them there is a wonderful instrument that will help to bring them back home to the heavenly home where they came from. But because it's been such a long time and they are so submerged into this kind of coarse vibration, they couldn't find their way home. They couldn't remember where God had bestowed upon them a kind of divine instrument so that they can use that to go home. So at the time of initiation, I have helped you to open it again. Now you know. Right. Since zillions and zillions of cowboys, with my energy, peace energy, they are created with God's grace and God's permission and God's love, of course, to bless this world, before humans existed. Because we all know that sooner or later humans will change their quality inside and outside, and they will become different, and they could not help themselves. So the more peaceful it is for them, the better for them in this world. But then they created their own energy, not as peaceful as when they first came. And then slowly it became more intolerable for them, also with the force of Satan, the fallen angels, or we call them demons, devils, and then it became worse and worse for humans. And they could not bear it, so they called for help, they prayed. So God has sent masters to this world again and again to save the souls that want to go back home, that are desperately in need of salvation. God has sent masters to this world again and again to save the souls that want to go back home, that are desperately in need of salvation. Other humans, maybe they don't feel that need yet, so they still hang around Yeah, and try different things. Some things are good for them, some things are bad for them. And the masters have to always come down, suffer with them, rescue them, help them, uplift them, but sometimes die in their hands. Sadly, you know that. And because after we eliminated the fighting world, the loving world became liberated. Because before that, the fighting world was not just fighting with each other, but sometimes they got together and disturbed the other world around them, and they were oppressing the loving world very, very much, that they call for help. Because they are not born to fight, you see? They are loving entities, loving beings. So they cannot fight, they don't know how. So it's easier for the fighting world to oppress them and abuse them. Finally, in desperation, they call for help. So we came and saved them, freed them. When they were freed, they all came and say, "Love from your loving world." I never thought any words mine anyway, but they feel like now that I own them, or they own me something. So they say, "Love from your loving world." At first, I was taken aback. I said, "Your loving world? My loving world?" They say, "Yes, yes, we are yours. We are yours, we are yours," you know. They were cheering like that. It sounds easy to win, but it was a very, very fierce battle, you know. Even though in the astral world, meaning in the invisible world, apart from this world, only in this world we can see, we can hear, we can touch. If any beings don't have the human body like the humans here have, then it's easier to take care of. It's not always easy, of course, but nevertheless, I feel like it's much easier than taking care of this world. Oh, now we remember Paramhansa Yoganandaji had a master. His name was Guru Yukteswar. And after he left this physical dimension, he went to the astral world and was appointed to be a teacher of the astral beings there, in a good astral being world. So when he came back and talked to Yoganandaji, he said that in the astral world it's much easier to teach people. The people in the astral world, they're more sensible, more kind. It's easier for them to absorb the teaching, and he was happy to be the master there instead of here in our world. Imagine that. Ask all the real masters, they tell you the same. Nobody really wants to come here. It's just that out of love and out of God's grace. So they come down and help the suffering and desperate humans who want to go back home. But they suffer so much. None of the masters have it easy. Only the fake ones, or the ones that have nothing, no power, nothing at all, no name in heavens anywhere, and they call themselves Master Ji, Guru Ji, whatever. They don't suffer much. They cash in a lot. They have many followers because they're similar, you know. Just the real masters, they have too many rules for the disciples in order to detach them from entanglement in this world, such as the disturbing this world, or the jealousy world, or the greedy world, or the possessive world, or the fighting world, for example, like that. Yeah. And many humans don't like them because following the false master or the no power master is so easy. They just tell you, "Okay, now you are my disciple." That's it. And give some donations. The more the better. That's it. And then you become a disciple. And then you have a so-called master or teacher. You call them Guru Chi or Satguru, whatever. Satguru means real master, but they are not real. They're not even masters at all. They understand nothing. They have no power to liberate you. And they could be harmful to you if they are connected with the devil world. And they will give you that kind of energy, and slowly you become like them. And then you can't go back to the human world even. You go to the devil world, suffer even more, or do many bad deeds. The more bad deeds you do, the more you will suffer, now or later. So these are the loving word or the fighting word or the disturbing peace word. They are not physical. Maybe some of them appear like humans or some animal people or something, but they don't have souls and they can't stay forever in that make-believe human body or any animal person's body. They originated from energy, bad or good energy generated by humans or other beings on this planet. Energy can manifest into human body or not, or just astral bodies. But they have power because power is energy. Energy is power. So, for example, nowadays they can make air into water, yeah? You don't see gas, but if you know how to capture it, how to store it, then you can make use of it to heat your body or to cook your meal or many other things. That's what it is, yes. And like the sun power, the solar power, you don't see it, but you can catch it, store it in solar panels and store it in battery, like what I'm using now. Then you can do many things. You can contact the whole world. Without these solar panels, I would not be able to talk to you or send anything to you. I could not even do any work for Supreme Master Television behind the scenes. I could not watch a Supreme Master Television on the computer or on the new phone. It's incredible already. Just the device as big as your palm only. And you could even catch, television from thousands or hundreds of thousands of miles away over the mountains, rivers, and oceans. You can talk to your friends or relatives, loved ones from the other end of the planet or even to the moon or soon, perhaps, to Mars people or to Mars location, yeah. Long time ago, I talked to you about that, about Mars situation, yes. At that time, I was thinking whether any of you believed what I was telling you. But now you do because they even photographed it. Oh, it's incredible. They could photograph underground. Even though they couldn't go underground in planet Mars, they still took some pictures and it looks like there were cities down there, just the way I told you. So sometimes we use a lot of manpower and scientific instruments in order to capture a photograph. But if you practice the Kuan method that I have taught you, you can see it from, you don't even need a UFO to go there and look. You can see it from your bedroom, or from the back of your yard, or from your attic, or from the tent. This is a power that humans have. All humans have it. All humans with soul have it. But they just forgot how to retrieve it. That's a pitiful thing. They are like gazillionaires. But comparably speaking, they're just like beggars on the street. So the thing is, slowly humans have become different from the original state of their being. And then they even mixed with other lower hybrids and became even more different, more distant from their original glory and goodness. And thus they create bad vibes, bad energy, bad happenings in their own environment and suffer. And because they are God's children, they have God within themselves. So if they do wrong, they do sinful things, they do know it, even though they don't confess or they don't admit it. At the time of their departure, everything that they did, bad or good, will return to them. And they will just judge themselves. Thus, they create hell. Or similar hells have already been created by other hybrid humans before them, and then they will go there and stay together, enduring such unthinkable pain, suffering, sorrow, and horror. Some seem to be punished forever, even. This is a very heartbreaking scenery if you see it. Sometimes God doesn't let you see it. Some people who die and met a representative of heaven in this form of Lord Jesus also can see something, but many of the most horrible, non-relievable, never can be freed from it. God doesn't want good humans to see it. The entity, the divinity in the form of Lord Jesus or the form of the Buddha, as known to the human who's been privileged to be shown hells or heavens, that benevolent entity that looks like Lord Jesus or Buddha will not let this privileged person see the worst hell of nowadays. Human beings have done so many sinful things and live in such a degrading kind of life on earth that many disasters also manifest with the help of Satan, demons, or thanks to them also. Yes, they carry it around in a human form, even though they don't have a soul. They have the power to make themselves look like humans, or they borrow a deceased person's body, like an immediate transfer. Like that person just took their last breath and left the body, then the demon standing by somewhere nearby will immediately use the opportunity to possess that body and then just wake up, and the doctor thinks, oh, the patient didn't die, they came back to life. It's like that, and nobody knows that that person is dead and the body is inhabited by another entity, not a benevolent entity, and causes havoc to that country where they live. For example, like in Vietnam, recently there were a lot of disasters. A lot of people died, a lot of property was damaged, a lot of people were homeless and suffered so much. But I have told you already, I don't want to tell it again. The thing is, Trang Tam wasn't the only one that can do all that. There are other people, other humans that look normal, maybe even preach and also have a lot of followers, but they're not humans. They're here to cause havoc, to cause disasters, to cause trouble. For Vietnam, for example. And if they went to Thailand, they cause trouble there too. Make noise and all kinds of things and go together, strengthen together in a group or something, like a fashionable kind of a gathering. Yeah, it's difficult for anybody to tell who is who. And whoever knows, tell others, no other will believe it. Because the Maya, they also have tremendous power. And nobody would believe the person who can see them as a true horrible entity. On the contrary, that person who told that, oh God, will be come on beaten or slandered to no end. So slowly nobody dares say anything. And even if somebody still says the truth, nobody believes them. Because by then it's already kind of late. And they don't have much proof to say these things are invisible. The astral entity, the devil entity, they have power. They can manifest different kinds of things. And they use their power to charm people. So many will follow them. And they will be even famous, yeah? Yeah. Some will cash in and enjoy the life of luxury. Some do the opposite, so that people believe them more and worship them. That is a thing. But it is because of the whole planet as a whole. The big karma of the world is not like you can blame one or two persons or a group. It's a society that has been degrading a lot. Good people are few. There are more bad people and more badly influenced to become bad also, or to have a wrong concept or wrong belief. So the energy is not as beneficial. That's all. You cannot just blame one or two persons or one or two groups even. But you can't also blame humans because humans are vulnerable. Since a long time, they have forgotten what they are already and how glorious their true home is and how powerful they are as beings, as the children of God. This is a very pitiful situation. But so all the masters do all they can to open their wisdom eye to let them see the truth inside. And then, of course, some people will be free and can go back to their original home, become their original glorious self again. And then they might come back to this world to help others who are mired in ignorance just like they were before. Did I tell you the number of the population in the loving world? Maybe not, huh? It's about 13,500 millions of beings there. They look like humans, but are not physical. Even though they outnumber the enemies who attack them, the fighting world was only 300,000, remember? Yeah. But then they can oppress the bigger number in the loving world because the loving world, as I told you, they cannot fight. They are not programmed to fight. So if something attacks them, they have to call for help. Luckily, we are all very connected. We can hear them and we can help them. But the disturbing peace world also has more numbers than the fighting world. It's what 958,222 entities, yes? But even then, we overwhelmed them after some battle, fierce battle. Then we eliminated them already. But there are more worlds, even though they are not demons, but they carry vicious kind of energies. And with the humans' bad karma and degrading living standard, together, they make it difficult for heaven's beings and for myself also. It's difficult to win that easily. But we are on the winning side, I told you already. So don't be too upset, don't be too depressed, okay? We still have a big, big, big hope to save this planet for the good beings only. This is a problem. Even if we are successful in saving the planet, that the planet will not be destroyed, only good people, good beings, good entities will be allowed to stay. The final judgment will be decided by highest heaven, by God. So it's not like if you are rich and famous, then you can survive. It's not like that. Oh, by the way, the other day, some leftover zealous ghost also came and caused trouble for me, telling me all fake news and stuff. So I asked the security king to catch them and bring them to hell, to other zealous ghosts who had not followed their king to the place above the three worlds that I had given to them. But before they went, because there's something more concerning, something else, so I asked them, why did you do that? Why didn't you follow your king to come to the world that I have offered to you? Hundreds of thousands, millions times better than here, better than where you are. Why do you have to come bother me even? I said, why don't you like such world? You like this kind of world better, huh? You haven't tried that world once. How do you know? Why didn't you go with your king? They say we wanted to, but we were kicked out of that world, of the gate. I said, but why? Who kicked you out? So they told me, your guardians, meaning my guardians, kicked them out. They told me, your guardians kicked us out. I said, why is that? They said, because apart from the king's retinue and favorite and good ones, they let only the relatives of your CP to go there and stay there. My CP, my contact person. In our group, we have different countries, different cities, we have different contact persons for the convenience of people, so that they can contact each other to go together to do something, do charity work in disaster relief, or maybe create a vegan buffet to invite other people to come to become vegan, to test the vegan food and to become vegan. And sometimes they print some of my books and give them to people there for free. Or sometimes in the store, my store has many leftover books. In some such occasions, they will give them. Or sometimes if I go somewhere and the CP will be informed, and the CP, meaning the contact person, will inform other initiates, and they will know what to do, where to go, to do what, or to go see me. So that is what the CP is for. Sometimes the CP also is very good. They went out, organize things with other God's disciples, and then they contact each other. Otherwise, nobody knows where what's happening. Nowadays, we use the internet. It's even more convenient. I'm forever grateful. Even though our higher tech situation or system here is not as good as the higher heaven, yeah? But still much, much better than ever. I feel like I'm living in a better situation than the king concerning work. Of course, if I don't have work, I feel much better just retire, go to the Himalaya somewhere, yeah, practice, enjoy every day, instead of having headaches, worrying about many things in this mundane situation. But I'm glad already that I have so many conveniences, which even the kings before did not have. Nowadays, we have the internet, we have the telephone, even though it's more limited in my situation, but still workable and much better than what the royalties had in former lives, former centuries or former decades. Yes. I'm glad already that I have so many conveniences, which even the kings before did not have. Nowadays, we have the internet, we have the telephone, even though it's more limited in my situation, but still workable and much better than what the royalties had in former lives, former centuries or former decades. Yes. Nowadays, even if I don't have car, for example, I can jump on the bus, on the train, on airplane, taxi, yes. The kings before didn't have those. And they have to sit on a horse cart and gallop. It was so painful. Or being carried, through different terrains. Not an even good terrain, but in old times, it was a very rough road, and you have to be carried by many servants and go many days until they could reach another city or their holiday resort or something. It's really painful. I remember when I was in India, I had to take a horse cart everywhere, for example, or in Myanmar when I was with my former husband. We went to visit the 10,000 temples in Pagan, or the Golden Temple in Myanmar, and we went on the bus. But the bus over there, they didn't have a comfortable linen space for the back. So when I left that bus, I had a big bump on my back like an egg. It was painful for a long time. But that's all you had. You had no choice. You couldn't have a special first class or anything in such area. You're lucky to have even a bus like that to go. Or in Vietnam, when I was a kid, we go with these tuk-tuk, a three-wheel car. It's made from a motorcycle with the wheels and seats behind. And the exhaust fumes from the car just hit your nose all the time. When you sit there, it's horrible. And the road is long, and it goes kabum, 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 and it's very, very painful sometimes. So nowadays, I feel like I live in luxury, even if I don't have a house, even if I live in the wilderness. But it's such a wonderful life, actually, I wouldn't want to exchange it for anything, unless the time has come that I come out of the retreat and come back to see you. Oh, I do miss you Sometimes in my free moments, I do miss you. I miss your loving eyes, your sincere heart, the energy that we created in the ashram together. It was very beautiful. Many moments, many days, or many months, many weeks, many years before. Whenever I happen to edit some of the old photos or the old lectures that your brothers and sisters sent to me to edit and to work on, to approve this, and that I saw some of this scenery from before, and I do miss you. Even just a song, that you made for me, it conveys utmost love and sincerity and high level of spiritual vibe that makes you feel so touched and so one together, everyone with me. Even I have a small little phone and it has a recording of some of the songs that you made before in Sihu. And there was one I was very touched to hear again. Sometimes accidentally I opened that phone to record some of the information or something. There's no SIM in it, but it still can be used. So I didn't throw away. Very small phone and old-fashioned. Yeah. People don't sell them anymore, I don't think. But you can still keep the memories in it, And there was a song just a couple of weeks ago, I happened to hear it. It's called something like 中秋节忆师恩, something like that, like remembering Master's compassion or benevolence at the Moon Festival, something like that. It goes something like da 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 da. 哦，我的师父，说声谢谢你 something like that. Let me thank you, one word, something like that. It was very nice. I was teary because I saw on the screen how sincere everybody was, and some were crying. Yeah. And I was also crying when I listened to that again. It's not the first time. Whenever I listen to that, I cry again.
接下来表演的歌曲是中秋佳节忆师恩，
好棒啊！
非常感动的一首歌曲。希望同修会唱的跟着一起唱啊！以前4年前在唱这一首歌曲的时候，大家是
弄这个样子跟美、
一把鼻涕一把眼泪。好，中秋佳节忆师恩，鼓掌欢迎。
会场的同修，请你跟我们一起欢唱。
新月是中秋夜，夜夜人更夜，处处张灯结彩欢迎这个美丽的夜晚。哦，我的师父，让我们同欢唱，欢唱这美丽的夜晚，我们欢聚在一旁。我们拍拍手，呀手拍拍，欢度这佳节。我们伟大的师父，中秋夜快乐！哦，我的师父，说声谢谢你，因为你的来到才有我们今夜的快乐。我们手牵手要心连心，团结在一起，求他不分南北和东西，大家齐努力。哦，我的师父，说声我们爱你，因为你是我们大的儿女，伟大的之母。亲爱的师父，我们要唱出我们的心声，你的大恩大德今生今世我们不能忘。哦，我的师父，我们要记住上帝，祝福我们伟大的师父健康又快乐。我们拍拍手，呀手拍拍，欢度这佳节，记住我们伟大的师父，中秋夜快乐。哦，我的师父，说声谢谢你，因为你的来到才有我们今夜的快乐。 们手牵手要心连心，团结在一起，做到不分南北和东西，大家齐努力。哦，我的师父，说声我们爱你，因为你是我们大的儿女伟大的之路。亲爱的师父，我们要传入我们的心声，你的大恩大的精神，其实我们不能忘。哦，我的师父，我们要祈求上帝，祝福我们伟大的师父健康又快乐，健康又快乐，健康又快乐。
好，这里鼓掌。
祝福我们伟大，我们最伟大、最伟大的宇宙之王，永远健康快乐。不论在宇宙之上、宇宙之尾，都有我们师父的影子跟爱力。让我们再一次以热烈的掌声，谢谢师父为我们主持这个中秋的欢乐。
And I miss you guys so much, especially the Taiwanese people. Taiwanese people, don't worry. I have made protection for your island, for your nation, even though I'm not there. And I hope there's nothing much stronger that comes to harm your nation. I did my best and put the strongest possible peace circle around your country. But please, be together, one heart, one mind, to pray to God, to praise God, to thank all the masters, to protect you, and do anything you can to influence other people around you. Make them put down the butcher knife, directly or indirectly. That butcher knife not only kills the animal people, the helpless, innocent animal people, but it kills you also. In your time. In your time. If not on earth, then in hell. I don't lie to you, you know that. I have no reason, so please tell everybody to beware and to be virtuous, to save themselves, save their country, and save the world by being vegan, keeping peace, and doing good to each other. Okay? That is for Taiwan. And the Chinese, the big Chinese government will also be reminded that whatever we do will come back to us. If we cause war, then war will come to us. Even if it's not in this lifetime, immediately after we leave this physical protective world. Meaning, because we live in this world, we have a protective layer of the body. So we might not realize very well what's going on in the lawful universe. Everything we do is clear to all beings, visible and invisible in the whole universe, and we cannot run away. We cannot escape any bad things we do, or we cannot be forgotten with all the good things that we do. There is another word called war word. Yeah? Other words, I told you some of them already. There's another word called war word. If we engage in war, make war, or provoke people to make war, or we're related to war, or support war, or sell things for people to make war and bring suffering to other beings, then we will be born in the world called the warring world. In the warring world, you will be in war all the time. You might be killed, you might have your head chopped off, you might be injured, you might suffer in any way. You might lose your house, lose your children, lose your wife, lose your parents, or your loved ones. It will happen again and again and again, and it will tear your heart into pieces and will blow your mind into dust because the suffering, the pain, the sorrow is unimaginable. That is what happens in war. That's what war will cause to families, to countries, and will cause business losses and destroy nations everywhere. Houses, cities, businesses, food, everything will be in shortage. Everything will make your life hell. The warring world also is a hell in a way, just different. Not like the hell that we imagine. It's a different kind of hell. It's a real world. It's just you have to constantly, relentlessly experience war yourself personally. And the suffering never ends until the karma is finished for each individual. And maybe if all people in the war zone, the warring world, have finished with the karma, then maybe they can be free from it. And other beings will go there, other beings who cause war or have something to do with war will go there. So that world, warring world, will continue, just like others, until some reason happens that some master will destroy it. Like the fighting world has been destroyed, or was destroyed. And now the one recently, 5 days ago, was the disturbing peace world. Yes. People who live in that kind of world constantly, they don't ever have peace. And then because of that, they will make trouble for others nearby or nearby country. So the circle will continue forever unless that world is destroyed. But it takes tremendous power, a lot of work in order to destroy such a powerful world outside our physical world. Outside, but it could even be just next door. Just humans don't see it. All the worlds mingle together, entangled together. Unless you have psychic eyes, the spiritual third eye, you won't see it. And they could be attacking you anytime and you don't even know it. You thought you just had a headache. You thought you just had an accident only. You thought you just began to develop cancer, for example. But no, all this is caused by karma of different worlds. And if you have affinity with them, you have to suffer. Either like they suffer in that world, or they will cause you to suffer as if you are living in that same world. So please be virtuous. Be thankful to God for your safety, for your health, for your property, for your sufficiency in everything in life, and for your security, for your happiness as well, and for your opportunity to even remember God and all Buddhas and all masters of different levels. Remembering is good already, but not enough. You must pray daily. Make it a habit. You must praise God, thank God, praise all the masters, thank all of them. And best of all, know God. So please be virtuous. Be thankful to God for your safety, for your health, for your property, for your sufficiency in everything in life, and for your security, for your happiness as well, and for your opportunity to even remember God and all Buddhas and all masters of different levels. Remembering is good already, but not enough. You must pray daily. Make it a habit. You must praise God, thank God, praise all the masters, thank all of them. And best of all, know God. Be enlightened enough so that you can see the Buddha, you can know the Buddha, you can see God, you can talk to God, you can hear God, you can hear the Buddhas, hear the masters, see the light of heavens, etc. There are many landscapes for you to recognize in which heaven you are, in which level of spiritual consciousness you are, by being initiated into the Kuan Yin method that I teach my God's disciples. There are also some masters who also teach the Kuan Yin method, light and sound, but either they are fake ones, like the ones who betray me, cheat me, and then work for demons instead and harm many people, or they are a lower level, and they can only take you where they are, even though they teach the same method, but they will not be able to take you higher than that. Even some masters who taught me the same method before, they told me that they don't dare to call me their disciple. I said, why not? Why not? I was disciple at that time. They said, no, you are too high for us. Such things like that happen, okay? Just for you to know, for the people who are not with us to know that before they leave, consider well, make sure that your foot has landed in a safe heaven, safe area, okay? where you can be sure to go to the highest possible kingdom of God. In the kingdom of God, there are many levels, yeah? Just like Lord Jesus said, in my Father's house, there are many mansions. He means that God has a big love, big space for us. Also, he means that there are many levels of heavens. It depends on how we practice or whom we follow. Yesterday, I was glancing at some of the world news because I often also search the news to send it to my team to air it for everybody to have kind of a quick glance at the whole world, what's happening in different countries. It's easier for you than if you sit down and search from one channel to another if you don't have time. We make it concentrated, compact, so it's easier to see, understand, and realize what kind of situation we are in, good or bad, yeah, in different time, in different countries. Also, I eliminate fake news from humans as well as from AI generated information wherever it comes to my attention. I was looking at some of it. I saw President Zelensky went to Washington to see President Trump, and they were talking about peace, but it seems like a war right there. I guess there are many other details that happened before they officially sat there and talked to the reporters in America. From what I have seen, President Trump really wanted to have peace, to stop all the killings in Russia and in Ukraine due to the relentless war since 3 years already. Oh God, this is a long time, a lot of suffering.
And I hope I'm going to be remembered as a peacemaker. This would be a great thing if we could do this. I'm doing this to save lives more than anything else. Second is to save a lot of money, but I consider that to be far less important. I hope I'll be known and recognized as a peacemaker. This would be a great thing to solve. This is a very dangerous situation. You know, this could lead to a third world war. This was headed in the wrong direction.
We help with whatever financial ways we can help and whatever things we can do. But it's not all that easy. One professor in Ukraine wrote a letter to me and asked me to send some people, my disciples, to his country to make a livelihood in a certain university. I did agree and I did ask some people to go there. But it's not all that easy. You know, all this time we have been helping, but we could never stay long. Because to have a visa there is troublesome. The working visa and the long-term visa is more difficult. The same in Africa, like Congo. If you want to stay there with a working visa, it's difficult and you have to. And if you want to have longer-term visa, you have to pay $3,000 or $4,000 and apply. But that doesn't mean that you will be accepted, and that the money that you pay in will be returned, even if you're not accepted. So it's difficult. So people criticize me why I am a practitioner and still do business. I don't do business so that I eat more than you do. You eat better at home than what I eat here. And you live in a better situation than where I live. More comfortable. I have running hot water over here. I have to take shower in cold water. Even wash my hair in cold water. Hot water takes too long to cook. And you have to put it in many buckets. And in winter, you even put warm water. Just in a blink of an eye, you use it, it's cold water. So I don't care, I just use cold water. Just have to cover well so the wind doesn't come in and hurt you, that's all. So do not try to criticize too much, okay? Not just me, but anybody. You know, anybody that tries to do good to humans, to animal people, spending all their time and all their capabilities and finances to help, and just try to look into that. Do not criticize. What have they done wrong anyway? What have I done wrong? I'm just doing business. I'm taking in fair money, honest and clean money, and then giving it out to people, to whoever needs it, whenever God allows. And sometimes I have to pray, otherwise God doesn't allow me. Like, for example, if I want to give like $40,000, God allows only 20,000. Then I just have to accept that, even if it breaks my heart. My life is not mine. You think I'm free? I'm not. I'm not free. because the world karma is upon me. And because of world karma, I have to do according to God's will. If you do nothing, then God leaves you alone. You don't have to give and take anything. Now we go back to the two presidents. Both of them have goodwill. President Zelensky went all that way to America in order to sign the contract, the deal with President Trump, so that he can help Ukraine more in the long term. He said after signing that, Ukraine will have permanent help from America. Ukraine will have a more secure position in the world as well. But somehow something happened that he did not sign it. And they were arguing very loudly. It should have been more peaceful. Maybe the two of them should have sat together in a private office and sorted things out first and agreed with each other what they will talk in public. Otherwise, like that, the whole world will see it's not a very pleasant situation, even though both meant well. Both are very passionate about what they are looking for and what they're trying to achieve. But sometimes we have human tendencies, human qualities, human concepts that come in between the peace and sincerity of both parties. President Trump is powerful, of course, and he just won the election by a landslide. And almost the whole country support him in everything he does, in every new decision he makes to help America be great again. So he's powerful and he's in the winning position, a mighty position. So he might have forgotten a little bit, was less considerate to President Zelensky, who has already been targeted for 3 years long. His hair just turned gray suddenly and his face, everything changed because of the war headache. Too much responsibility, too much suffering, too much terrorizing, all kinds of things. And his life has never been safe since then, since the war.
Найскладніше, найостанніше і найскладніше. Я їх люблю. Безумовно, свою дружину. Мої діти – головні люди для мене. Не часто бачу. Батьки, їх зовсім не бачу. А дружиною пишаюсь дуже сильно. Вважаю, що вона робить все заради... Я просто розумію, що вона за людина, заради дітей і держави. Ну, хотілося б, щоб трішки заради мене, а вже ж. Я так вже жартую. В серці, вони всі є в серці. І ви бачите, я вам сказав чесно, що це буде найскладніше. І тому не можу нормально вам відповісти. Головне їх не підвести. Головне, щоб моїми дітьми, щоб мої діти пишалися мною.
When people are already down on the floor, we should not kick them anymore. But the political situation is never easy for anybody. I just imagine if it were me, if I were President Zelensky, I wouldn't know what to do. Yeah. I don't think anybody would be wiser if they were in his situation. Pressure from all sides and losing too many things already. Losing too much and worrying about even losing his own country. The winner should always be more considerate, more understanding. So he's powerful and he's in the winning position, a mighty position. So he might have forgotten a little bit, was less considerate to President Zelensky, who has already been targeted for 3 years long. His hair just turned gray suddenly, and his face, everything changed because of the war headache. Too much responsibility, too much suffering, too much terrorizing, all kinds of things. And his life has never been safe since then, since the war. When people are already down on the floor, we should not kick them anymore. But the political situation is never easy for anybody. I just imagine if it were me, if I were President Zelensky, I wouldn't know what to do. Yeah. I don't think anybody would be wiser if they were in his situation, pressured from all sides and losing too many things already. Losing too much and worrying about even losing his own country. The winner should always be more considerate, more understanding. We used to have a little game in our Sihu ashram. Sometimes if I don't have any more things to give, for example, like we were eating together and everybody's favorite is vegan ice cream, and sometimes they didn't buy enough. Everybody had one already, just that sometimes I let them have more. And then when it's not enough for each one to have the second one, like not a second ice cream because we don't have enough. Only one ice cream left for the last two people. For example, then I tell them they have to do this game like, 1, 2, 3, rock, paper, scissors. And then one person, of course, has to lose. In this game, always one person has to lose. So after one of the nuns lost, I told the winner, I said, okay, the loser can have the ice cream. Everybody was surprised. But why? The winner should take the ice cream. The last ice cream, I said, no. The loser already feels too bad, feels very bad, losing face already. So now she must have the ice cream to comfort her losing situation. So, okay, everybody laugh and give in, but like it or not, I give it to the loser. It was just our game. In political warfare, it's probably different than just ice cream. At least it's just a joke for you. Thank you. So if President Zelensky has some different concept or different thinking or different perceptions, it is because he has been through a lot with his countrymen. So he should have been maybe treated a little bit more gently, more discreetly. People came to your door already, not as the superior, but in a less superior, lesser position. Then we should have been more considerate to that person. I'm sorry if I have offended you, great President Trump. I'm your fan, you know that. I've been supporting you in different ways, whatever way I can, directly and indirectly. So forgive me if I offended you, but I'm known for straight talk, yeah? I don't side with President Zelensky. I just understand him and sympathize with his position and his countrymen. I wish that country the best and the quickest possible peace. There must be a sorting out of misunderstanding or knots in between before the whole world should know. His country is already in big turmoil and sorrow, and he is not in a strong power position. He's been begging from door to door different countries to help his country. So we probably should have more sympathy. When somebody is already in a worse position, we should not hurt him more. He is not alone. He represents his country. So if you know better, you should slowly explain it to him. That's what I think, yeah? Forgive the old woman thinking. When we are winning, we have this kind of powerful overconfidence, so we might not be able to understand the other people who are of lesser fortune. That's all. You did not mean anything. President Trump, you did not mean anything bad. You thought your way is the best already. And it could be the best. It's just you must slowly explain it to somebody who is not you, who is not in your mighty position, who is having too much of a headache, too much confusion, too much pressure from all sides, who probably haven't seen his wife and kids for I don't know how long. When the war first started, his wife had been interviewed on the television, and she said to the host, "Thanks to you today, I could see my husband. I haven't seen him ever since the war started until now," and that was a long time. And his children also don't see him. And even his children want to become soldiers, go out and fight already. They were kids.
Родина вже ж, як і всі українські родини, зараз роз'єднана. Тато,
Ваш чоловіка
і
війна
чоловік.
практично забрала.
Ніхто в мене чоловіка не забере, навіть війна. Але так, він живе на роботі. Ми його майже не бачимо. 2,5 місяці ми взагалі не бачилися. Так? Спілкувалися тільки телефоном. Зараз у нас було кілька можливостей побачитися. І я вам також вдячна за цю можливість, тому що ми зараз проводимо час разом.
Побачення в ефірі.
Побачення в ефірі, так, дякую вам. Це така, знаєте, чудова нагода попити разом чаю. Прокинулася від дивних звуків за вікном, як усі, мабуть. Темно, була ж майже ніч тоді, і я дивлюся, що Володимира поруч немає. Я пішла до сусідньої кімнати, знайшла його, він вже був одягнений в костюмі, але без краватки. Ну, вже ж я зрозуміла, що, запитала, що відбувається, він сказав, тільки почалося. Ну, емоції не можна передати, тому що тут і жах, і заціпаніння. І він це мені сказав і пішов. В принципі, ми більше не можна сказати, що бачились довго. І, чесно кажучи, я розумію, що як наскільки в той момент він був як натягнута струна. Ми всі одразу зрозуміли, що в принципі, життя змінилося назавжди. І от тепер я живу тим, коли він мені нарешті скаже, ну все, скінчилося.
5 months into Russia's brutal invasion of Ukraine, First Lady Elena Zelenska tells us she fears for the safety of her people and her family, including her 18-year-old daughter, Alexandra, and 9-year-old son, Kirilo.
What does your son dream of? What does he want to be?
Obviously, he wants to be a soldier.
He wants to be a soldier.
Obviously.
What does that make you think as a mom?
І тому
I really want to ensure is that the childhood of my son is given back to him and that he enjoys his life to the fullest.
Still, she's learned to cope with the relentless risk her husband, President Volodymyr Zelensky, now faces.
So emotionally, privately, and publicly, he's been under tremendous pressure. So even if he thinks something wrongly, we should be able to understand him and help him, because that is helping millions of people, his co-citizens. I'm tearing up now as I'm talking about that. I have no power to help. I mean, physically not. I'm doing many things, but it doesn't look like I could decide the fate of his country. Not obviously like the way you would do. You see, President Zelensky also has a big pressure on his chest, because whatever you demand him to sign or whatever he decides to sign, he can never be sure whether or not his people will accept it, whether or not they will support him inside or outside in his decision, even if he has the best intention to end the war, to end all the suffering and the killing. He himself might have a very unfavorable outcome from his decision and reaction from his people. So it is difficult for him also. So, President Trump, you're a great man. Please Ask him to come back and talk together in a private room. No need to air all the weaknesses in front of the world like that. He's been punished enough. Even if he has done anything wrong, he has been punished day and night for 3 years already. So, President Trump, you're a great man. Please ask him to come back and talk together in a private room. No need to air all the weaknesses in front of the world like that. He's been punished enough. Even if he has done anything wrong, he has been punished day and night for 3 years already. And now, President Zelensky, I have no right to talk to you or to President Trump. I'm just a woman. Women have a soft heart, you know? We are not warlike like men. Most wars are caused by men, not by women. And now, President Zelensky, I'm your friend. I've been helping your country as much as I can. It's not all that easy for me to help people. I don't have as much money as many of the billionaires there. I didn't reach the B yet, just the M, small m. So the billionaire people probably, they're helping you better or not, I'm not sure. I do what I can. It's not all that easy. I just want to tell my disciples that even a professor, a dean, asked me to send people to one of your universities in your country to make a Loving Hood vegan restaurant. I did send some, but it's not easy for them to stay, you know. If they want to stay, whether or not the business can go on or not, they have to pay a lot for a visa, working visa, and couldn't stay long. I was reported almost like that. It seems like a difficult time to make a business in your country. I could have helped more. I did send people, send money as much as I could for what little I have. I sent more than I should have already. But this is not easy, okay? And I don't have any position to help you and your country. President Trump can. You have to trust him. Because he's an honest man. He just has to also work for the benefit of his country. So both of you should understand each other more and talk in private first before agreeing with each other which subject can be aired to the whole world. I know you have suffered a lot and you have a big responsibility on your shoulders. And you've been frustrated and hopeful and then hopeless and 10,000 things you have to do, I know that. But every peace, every negotiation, it's just like business, you know, sir? Every negotiation, it's like business. It has to be give and take. We can't just take all, and we can't just give all. Because there's a third party, Mr. Putin. Right or wrong, we have to deal with him. And we have to deal in a give and take way. No one can have everything. No one can give everything. Just forgive the enemy. Make a good deal for both sides, okay? Because you both are men. You have pride. A man doesn't want to lose. It hurts him. If you don't want to lose, Putin wants to lose even less. Just have to talk. Just have to be patient, be humble, be sincere. Pray to God before every situation. That's all I can give you. Just advice. I don't have as much money as I want to give to your country and help. I do very little things that I can. I don't borrow money from the World Bank or anything like that. So my money is not as big as everybody else's money. You know, the rich people. I just have enough to take care of my things. So this is the advice I can give you. In every business, every deal, there must be give and take. Even in marriage, even with parents and children. Always give and take, sir. I know it's difficult for you, but your people will understand. They want peace more than anything else. And you will explain to them why you decided like this, like that. Or you tell your people what you want to decide like this, like that. And if the majority agree, then you go ahead. It's a very difficult situation for you. You are in the position that no leader in the world wants to be in, but you just have to do what's the best for your country. Pray to God to guide you, okay? All right, and I wish you all the best and all the success. I have no way to talk to you like this in private. And I don't know how to send an email from where I am. I have never sent any email. I don't know how. Even now, I don't know how. Everything is prepared for me already. It's just for me to work for Supreme Master Television. I don't know anything else. And I don't even know if I send email, if it will get to you or to President Trump either. I'm not that big in the political world. You know that. So I sincerely pray for your country and wish you the best. With your permission, with your people's permission, I also call your country Ukraine, meaning you reign. You have power over yourself, over your country. No one else should. That's important. Right. And pray every day. I wish that you see your wife and your children sometimes. I know it's hard, but you have to see them sometimes. Take time to talk to them. I am just an old woman having trouble dealing with the pain of the victims of war and the victims of the slaughterhouses. Humans also have slaughterhouses, like the war. Animal people have slaughterhouses without them having anything to do with it. My heart's in pain every day. So both of you, great presidents and courageous presidents, forgive me if I said anything that offended you. It just comes from my tremendous pain for the people, for the innocent citizens in war, just as much as for the animal people in the slaughterhouses. So forgive me, please. All the best to both of you. I love America, and I love Ukraine. I love Russia also. Please consider also Mr. Putin. All these years, even though I did not like him making the war, you know that. I voiced all my opinions in the beginning already. Consider Putin also. He's also a man in human language, in human society. He's a man also. He also has his pride. So pressing too hard in any direction for you, for him, for President Trump won't result in anything. Have to work in sincerity and peace first. That's all I can say. And I wish it will happen, that peace will come to Russia and Ukraine. Too many innocent people die already, soldiers or civilians, children, women. It breaks my heart a lot. Please make peace for us, for me. Thank you. And also for Mr. Billionaire Elon Musk, I also have no right to talk to you in any way, and I never could reach you with an email or private letter or anything. I don't know if anybody would even take my letter and give it to you or anybody else in this world. I just hope that you can hear me here. Just a few words. Please, protect your child. Protect that son of yours when he comes with you in the Oval Office and in some of your talks. Protect him from those kinds of places. The energy over there, it might not be good for him. He's only a little baby. Let him be a baby. Let him grow up in normalcy. Protect him from the public eye. You never know where it is good for him. So keep him where it's safe, where it's loving, kind, and then come and see him often. Or take him with you, but he stays with the housekeeper, with the babysitter, and you go out to do business for the world. You need all your strength, all your concentration. Don't bring the kid around. It's not good for you, not good for the kid. Also, it's not good looking for the Oval presidential office or in public talks because it makes a different impression. Do not make the most powerful office in the world into a babysitting room or just your private dining room or living room. We must respect the capital office. We must keep it just for the nation's business. That also belongs to your kid, but he should not go there at his age. I know you love him and he loves you. That's why you couldn't part with him sometimes, but you must. I don't have my dog people here. I don't have my bird people here. They are my loved ones. They are my family. I miss them so much. And I also don't have my disciples here. I miss them also so much. They miss me so much. But I just have to do my work alone at the moment. So I'm not telling you the things that I am unable to do myself. I know it's hard, but we have to. Okay, sir? And I have so much respect for you. I'm your fan also. You're wonderful. You're powerful. You helped the president to win back the office which he deserves and which the American people are grateful for. You're the best friend, or one of the best friends that the president could have and trust. He is very lucky to have you. So just give the business outside of private quarters, just to give it an air of mighty, stately affairs, energy, and keep it concentrated that way. Any public political arena where people talk about different subjects, sometimes arguing, sometimes fighting in wars, they're not good for children. The child might not seem to understand everything, but his soul, his mind will register all that. It is not a good beginning for a little baby. Please, I love children. You can see I wrote a lot of tips just for children. Not because I don't love adults. I have adults as disciples, but I love children because they are innocent, because they're vulnerable in our chaotic and not favorable world. So keep them away from the political arenas, from business arguments and different energy than home. Let the children live in the safety of their home until they are old enough to deal with the change outside. He has time. Let him have the time. Mr. Elon Musk, your son is so handsome and he looks so smart, just like his father. Maybe he will have a bright future and he will also do something for your country. But not now. Let him enjoy his innocent childhood, and whatever happens, we will see. Whatever happens, we will see. We'll have enough time to see and to train him. Just protect your son, okay? Just protect him from confusing or not peaceful energy, from argumentative situations. Protect him from all that. Even though he couldn't seem to understand at his age, but his soul understands. His soul understands, and his heart would feel it. His intuitive capacity will take it all in. So spare him from all that. And Mr. Musk, above all, protect your son from possible risk of danger. You know what I mean. I love your son. He's so beautiful. Please take care of him and forgive me if I offended you in any way. I wish you, your son, and yours all the best. And thank you for helping America. Thank you for helping the world by helping President Trump. God bless you. God bless you. Handsome man, rich man, powerful man. I'm glad we have you in this world. And Mr. Musk, above all, don't lose heart, no matter what people say. People, they are people, They all have different opinions, different thinking, different concepts. Just do what you think is right. Help President Trump. Help the United States of America. Thus, help the world consequently. Thank you again and again. May God keep you strong and healthy, happy. and intelligent to continue to do what you are doing. Noble, unconditional, selfless service. God bless. I thank you so much and forgive me if I offended you. I know you are the King of wealth and prosperity in heaven. We met each other inside in the spiritual world. So just my humble advice. Thank you very much for helping President Trump, because helping him means helping America and helping the world also. Many people will copy your lifestyle, your decisions, your intelligence, and your honest way of life, your compassion, and your beautiful, noble quality in helping others, helping your country, and helping the world. Thank you so much. May God continue to bless you and yours, and that you can have enough strength to continue to do your noble mission. Amen, Mr. Elon Musk. Yes, let's leave all these great people to do their own work by themselves. Now, yesterday I was scanning the news for our Supreme Master TV. You know, the news that sometimes you see is some of my contributions in the show after Noteworthy News called Daily Streaming News by the news team, yeah? Because I was scanning some news of funny animal people or different situations in the world, all kinds of things, scientific new inventions, and such things. Then I saw a couple of video articles about people who lived in the wilderness and kind of in the coldest area in the whole world. In Siberia, for example, I saw two people. One is a woman. She has lived there 70 years and still lives there in Siberia, coldest areas, in the wilderness. And she used to be there alone because all the family died. The reason her family went there was because the country was under Stalin, and the family was so scared of this regime under Stalin that they left the city, left wherever they were, and just went deep into the wide forest. There was nothing there except bear and wolves and fox people and other big animal people that can survive. In winter, it could be minus 71 Celsius. Or is it Fahrenheit? I forgot. Never mind. It sounds very cold to me. Too cold. Where I live, it's very cold. It snows sometimes, but not that cold. It could be some degree below zero, but not 71. Not the coldest area on the planet. And for 20 years, she was even left alone after her family died, because in the wilderness, something happened, maybe weather or something, so their harvest was gone. I remember I saw another video somewhere concerning the same lady, and the mother has to starve so that the children could continue to live. But then later on, the father also died, the sibling also died. So all died, only she was left alone. And one time the family had only one little seed of the wheat to sow in the ground to make wheat, and they have only one piece left. They didn't even want to go back to the city because they're so scared of Stalin, because many of their relatives or other family members died, something like that. So they run away. And they have only one of that single twig of wheat left, and they save it, and then from then on later they planted it. And it became a small little field. And that's how they live on that. And then they have to harvest whatever was in the forest. They didn't dare to go home. That's why one time the mother sacrificed and starved to death to let the children continue to have food to eat, just as meager as possible, but they survived. But then scientists, geologists or something went there and stayed with them, visited them because of some reason, maybe he was curious. And then because one of the scientists had a sickness, so he passed it on to the whole family. Luckily, the girl didn't have anything wrong. Only the sibling died. Then later on, the father also died. But afterwards, she still continued to live there all by herself. Oh, this is incredible. I don't think I could do that. Such coldness. And short of everything. No food, no people, no one around. She continued to live like that.
Fearing oppression and death at the hands of Stalin, Agafia's father Karp fled with his family into the Sayan Mountains of Siberia in 1936. Agafia was born into this harsh wilderness in 1944. The Lykov family lived undisturbed for 40 years, building a life in an environment where the winter temperatures commonly dip to -30, the summer growing season is short, and bears and wolves roam in abundance. However, food was always scarce, and in 1961, Agafia's mother, Akolina, starved herself to death so that her children would have enough food to eat. The area they settled in is currently over 160 miles from the nearest town. In summer, it's possible to reach the Lykovs' cabin by a 7-day canoe trip. In winter, while we had heard rumors of a treacherous snowmobile route, it is virtually inaccessible by anything other than helicopter. In 1978, a team of Russian geologists spotted the Lykovs' hillside farm from their helicopter. They later hiked in to meet them. It was the first contact with outsiders that the Lykovs had in over 40 years, and it marked the end of their isolation. They also suffered unspeakable tragedy when the 3 elder children all died within weeks of each other, presumably from pneumonia contracted from a visit by the geologists. Agafia's father Karp later died in 1988, 27 years to the day after his wife passed away. So now, 35 years after their first contact, Agafia is the only Lykov left, living the same way she has since she was born, and the only way she knows how, off the land, in one of the most inhospitable environments on Earth.
Вам тяжело жить одной в тайге?
Да. Ну да, в тайге-то жить это все. Если с хозяйством, то вообще.
Но человек может выжить один в тайге?
Да, если при здоровье, молодой, не в эти годы и не при моем здоровье.
After I saw that, I feel I'm so lucky that nowadays you can have solar power even to work or keep warm. Or one pack, whatever I can have, even eat, and a blanket even. And food, yeah. Because nowadays, we are not at war, and you can take a taxi, you can go anywhere, buy food and come back. Or you order online and then you give an address. Even if you don't have car or you can't get taxi, you can give an address and then you stay there, wait for them to come and bring your food home. Yeah, from there, come back with a taxi or maybe just walk home with the trolley. Even also such an inconvenience, like no hot water, but I'm happy. If I don't have any duty anywhere, I wouldn't want to go anywhere. I wouldn't want to exchange this life for anything else. But please, don't follow me. Don't copy me, okay? You have to have strong will. And there is also unsafety. There are also risks living in the wilderness, okay? And inconveniences in many ways. You have to truly pay attention to every detail and feel strong inside. Otherwise, you might forget something and get sick. And it's very difficult to recover. It's not a physical thing that I worry about. I worry about my work. I have to stay healthy. So I take care of myself as much as I can, of course, but that's the hardest part. I take care of other people rather happily. I take care of myself. I don't like, ever since I was a kid, if my father give me medicine for anything, I run away. I didn't like it. And then they have to pin me on the floor and open my mouth with a spoon to force the medicine in. But nowadays, I've grown up and I'm more responsible, take medicine and all that, but still I have to be healthy. But otherwise, a simple life I like it. I really like to have a simple life, alone and quietness, so that I have free time. After doing Supreme Master TV work, I have free time. I could sit down and think, drink a little hot water, or some little tea, or have some simple food. If too much work, too much burden on the mind, so I take a break like that. Very nice that way. It's difficult to cook too many things, you know. I don't have time to take care of all that. And washing with rainwater, you also have to think. You can't overdo things, you can't overuse it, yeah. But I still think, even then, I'm more lucky, more powerful than old kings, olden time kings, because olden time kings, they didn't have internet, they didn't have telephones, they didn't know what happened in the world and in their country, even in their own capital, you know. It took a long time for all the news to reach them. But nowadays, you can just open the internet, you search for a while, and you have all the news you want to see. You don't need a lot of secretaries, you don't have many eunuchs, you don't have many guards to do anything for you. You do everything alone. And you don't have to have eunuchs to taste your food first, see if it's poison or not. So it feels peaceful and relaxing in many ways. I still think, even then, I'm more lucky, more powerful than old kings, olden time kings, because olden time kings, they didn't have internet, they didn't have telephones, they didn't know what happened in the world and in their country, even in their own capital, you know. It took a long time for all the news to reach them. But nowadays, you can just open the internet, you search for a while, and you have all the news you want to see. You don't need a lot of secretaries, you don't have many eunuchs, you don't have many guards to do anything for you. You do everything alone. And you don't have to have eunuchs to taste your food first, see if it's poison or not. So it feels peaceful and relaxing in many ways. But of course, I'm always on the alert, you know, always worried and always listen around, check around, you know, see if I'm safe. But in a way, I'm happy. I feel more private than in the city, yes. Nevertheless, if I have to go, by God's will, I will go. It's just that if I had a choice, I would stay here forever. Apart from that, I miss you, God's disciples, because you miss me so much that you send me love, you pray for me, and I feel all that. I receive all that, and that makes me remember you more, miss you more. I mean, in a physical way, in our world, in humans' way. Yes. Otherwise, in the soul way, we always nearby, here together, and never out of sight, see? But just in a physical way, we are born with emotion, with sadness, with happiness, with fear, with sorrow, with sympathy. So our mood sometimes go with those things. I don't want to control them. Why? Why do I have to sit there and control emotions? If I miss you, I miss you. I miss my dog so much, and I miss my bird so much. I don't want to control it. I just work and it will go away, but doesn't mean I deliberately try to control it. Of course, I don't want to remember too much because I have to concentrate to work for Supreme Master Television. Many shows every day. I have to check, I have to edit, or I have to add, I have to delete, I have to change, etc. You know, I'm helping. I also miss you, all of you, my initiates, brothers and sisters, very much. I really do love you very much. Whenever I have time and remember you, I do miss you so much. And I wish that we could spend time again together, you know, fun time, talking nonsense together, eating together, just hanging around, knowing that we are next to each other, nearby, in the same compound, looking at each other or not, just feeling the family warmth, the love that really exists in this world. This kind of love that we have for each other really exists. It's so precious. I do treasure all the time we're together. I do keep your love in my heart so that I can continue to work for you and for yours and for the whole world. I do need some of that love feeling, of course. I couldn't say that I don't need you. I couldn't say I don't need your love. No, I do need it. Not that I ask for it, but I have it and I really feel I need it. It helps me to continue to go on with my difficult job, inside job and outside job. I wish I had more time. I wish I had more choice, more freedom to just live. But at the moment, we just have to be content with that. God also doesn't want me to go out yet, okay? I need to concentrate more, to receive, to retrieve, to recover much more of my power, energy, in order to help better. Otherwise, I would have drowned, I would have died long ago. I have discovered new things, new spiritual ways to handle things in the world and take care of myself. And also I discovered that there are things called spiritual circles. Before we had spiritual blessing lines and other things. This newest discovery is spiritual circle. And I could draw some more power from that. Tremendous power. You cannot draw it because it's not for you. God won't allow it. It won't happen, even if I want to give it to you. This is just for me to work also, you know. Not that I became rich or Hercules or anything. I need more spiritual power to work, okay? Being a leader means being a slave. You have to work for everybody, take care of everyone. Even in business also, sometimes I have up and down and also causes some trouble for my peace, yeah? But it's okay, it's all manageable. I'm Superwoman, remember? Yeah, I keep reminding myself. And whether or not you remember, I have to. I have to do it. I'm healthy, don't worry. Sometimes I cough because maybe I left a little opening somewhere, you know? Or sat too long in the cold area, or didn't keep the heat on enough. But nowadays, it's very convenient. You can keep warm even by just some small packs from Japan. You can buy them in a sports shop, I guess, yes. They bought many for me, and I haven't used them before, and now I appreciate them very much. When you have pain somewhere, you just tape that warm pack onto that area, and after a while, the pain will go. If you don't have electric pillows or blanket to light on, then use those warm packs, those that are put in small sachets or packets, and then you shake it a little bit, you open it, you put it on your body. But don't put it on your skin, huh? You have to have a towel underneath first. Or you put it on top of your inner clothes, yes? And tape it or wrap it with maybe some piece of cloth to keep it there, yeah? Keep it where there's pain. Don't put it directly on your skin. It could be irritating or it could burn your skin also. Too hot, you know? So nowadays, we are really blessed to have so many comfortable things. So living in the wilderness, like me, I consider to be very lucky already. I saw one man who lived in the wilderness, also alone, in a very simple residence, a simple hut or something that he built himself. Many others also in different ways. And there's an Englishman, he also lived in the wilderness. He went around even with 2 young horses and 2 dogs. But he has a small 2-wheel cart. I have a copy of the articles and I sent it to the news group already. Maybe they can check it out and show it to you. Just a photograph or some little video. He's an Englishman. He's tall and big. He's elder already, maybe 50 or 50 something. He said he wouldn't trade this for anything. He has a cart. He made it himself with the frame of a bed before from his home or somewhere. And he put 2 wheels on it. He just takes it anywhere he goes. At night he sleeps under that with covers, some sheet on top to stop the rain from coming in. Truly very brave. But it's empty, you know, it's not like a tent. It's not as safe as a tent. He should buy a tent and cover the whole cart with it. At night, at least, and then go inside the tent. Or just put a tent on top of his cart, place a board on top of the cart, and he put the tent on it. And even if the tent is big, you can kind of make the tent narrow. You know the way I do it? On both sides, or four sides, you have this kind of small rod to keep the tent standing. All you do is just bind the two corners of the tent together on both sides. Then the tent will become narrower, enough for you, one person, to sleep inside with a sleeping bag and those warm packs that I told you about. And then you go to heaven every night and come back in one piece. Truly, you don't need a lot to live on. I think I live with a lot already. The reason is because of my work. Otherwise, I would throw away the telephone. I would give away my computer and many other things and just live on, you know, yeah? Or with a small car or something. And nowadays, you can buy food anywhere. You don't even have to stay in one place. But be safe, okay? Do not copy me. It could be risky also, yeah? Not just because of animals, but humans. Being alone, you have to really take care of yourself and look after yourself. The life on the road also has disadvantages, but nowadays it's much more pleasant. I saw some people who live on the road also with a van, yeah, and they're happy. Truly nowadays things are very convenient. I'm glad I know some of this kind of life. Many practitioners, many yogis, they choose loneliness in the high mountains or forests, or even in the cold Himalayas without houses, without anything. They just deal with it by too more heat or by mental willpower, yeah, or just know how to take care of themselves. For men, it's easier. For women, I wouldn't recommend it. It's a hardship. Women are more fragile, yeah, and more subject to risk. Many times I knew that already in India, going alone. It was risky, you know. I encountered many times in risky situations. Luckily, God felt that I'm too stupid, so has had to take care of me. I was blind, deaf and dumb, too much in love with God, too much feeling sorry for the world. So I just relied on faith to go alone in India. It's not safe at all. Don't do that, please. And living alone in the wilderness, all you have is God. You just have to rely on that alone. Nothing really is safe for you anywhere, not to talk about in the forest alone, yeah, and cold weather and all that. I'm very small, you know, fragile, and I'm born with tropical blood. So I feel colder than most of people if you live in a cold country, if you're born in a cold country. After a while, get more used to it, but still never risk it. It's different than in your home. Your backyard is different than your forest area. But I also don't have much choice. I like to be alone, to concentrate, to meditate whenever I can, and to live more simple, to have more garnished power to do things, to do God's will, to do God's mission. Otherwise, I also would prefer somewhere safer, yeah. Or go to the ashram, you know, and do work there and also see all of you. Just at the moment, the program is not like that. I have to do what I have to do in different times. I guess it's like the people working from home. All right, I just wanted to share with you the joy of victory And I wish I could have more victories to share with you if I'm allowed to tell. Many things I'm not allowed to tell. Also, many things do not concern you, or not to have to make you worry too much, or having high hopes too early. So forgive me that I can't just tell you everything, but I do tell you enough things, what you need to know and how you need to practice. Or in case the left ear is too loud, you just press your palm. You breathe deeply and keep it as deep as much as you can and keep it where it went in. And with your mouth even open also to take in as much air as possible so that your cheeks even puff up. And put your left palm tight onto the left ear. Keep it until you have to breathe out, and then you release it. Do it a couple of times, or even one time, the left ear troubling noise will disappear, okay? Are you understand what I'm saying now? Left palm tight onto the left ear so that you don't hear anything from outside. You just hear probably boom, boom, boom inside the ear. And then after you breathe out, you release the palm. The hand. Press your left palm, the inside palm, not the outside bony area, but the inside of the palm. Press it on your left ear tightly. Keep it there with your breath in. And when you breathe out, okay, then you release the palm. And you don't hear that disturbing noise anymore. That disturbing noise on the left ear is never good, okay? When it's gone, then you don't have to hold your palm like that anymore. But you could do it a couple more times just to be sure, and then don't do it again. You can press the left and the right palms both at the same time together, tight onto both ears, and release them together with the breath. That's what I just remembered now to tell you. For some new people, Yeah, breathe in very deeply and keep it. If you breathe together with the mouth also to bring in as much air as possible, even the cheeks pop up or not, and then you press both palms on both sides on the ears very tightly and release them together with the breath when you breathe out last. After you keep it for so long and finally you release the breath, breathe out and also release both palms, not just the left palm. But even if you don't have time to do too much, when you're too busy, then you sit there and just breathe in and cover the left ear alone is also enough. And then with the right ear, you still can handle your phone or write things. Sometimes I have to do that. If I'm too busy, then I use my left hand to do other things and use my feet to do other things at the same time. Or just use one hand to spoon feed myself and the other hand to continue working. Super. Now and then, breathe deep, okay? Remember. And then walk out sometimes in the fresh air, yeah? Don't go too far. And you have to be dressed warmly before you walk out of your tent or your warm area. Another thing is at night, you should not leave the heater on unless you arrange it well. So that, for example, the tent, you can leave it open only with the net door closed so the air can come into the tent. But the outside of the tent has to be securely protected by just even a soft, clear plastic sheet or even canvas or cloth. It's a very free life. But you must take good care of yourself, okay? At night, you must turn off the heater or you put an alarm, so that you see whether or not maybe you sleep too deep or meditate too deep so you don't feel that the tent inside is too hot or your room is too hot. You put an alarm clock so you wake up and turn it off or turn it lower, something like that. And you must always have a warm blanket, yeah? And warm packs. Because the heater is sometimes too hot and you can't control it too much. So if you turn it off or turn it very low, you need to warm your body with other ways. If you don't have pipes, just fill hot water in the bottle, tighten it well, wrap a towel, a small towel that you wipe your hands with, not the face towel, that square, the longer towel, maybe 40 centimeters long and thin, or the best is maybe the kitchen towel, yeah? About 40, 50 centimeters long, yeah? And about 30 centimeters wide. You wrap it around that bottle so it doesn't feel too hot. And don't put it next to your skin. Put it outside your shirt, near where you sleep, just both sides or one side. Just warm water. That will keep you warm the whole night. And in the morning, you could even drink the water from that. It's still warm. There are many ways you can live your life, actually. It's just a little bit harder than having a room. But if you organize well, your life is good. And feel grateful. I'm grateful that I could. Sometimes you can't. There's some situations that you're allowed to, and that God protects you. We just have to pray every day. Thank God, yeah? And if we're lucky, we can live freely, peacefully. Like the woman, 70 years in the wilderness, and the other man, 20 years. And the English gentleman is still living that life, but with less comfort than I, He just has a cart, two-wheel cart, the wooden wheels only even. And he pull it with him everywhere he goes, just like you pull a trolley in your garden, But he has things on it, some clothes or something in it. And at night he sleeps under the trolley with a plastic cover on top, covering himself from rain. Wow, I don't know how he lives that way, actually. I don't know if that's safe enough or the rain doesn't come in. It doesn't look safe enough, but I guess when it's raining very hard, then he covers everywhere. He should just buy a tent and put it on top of the cart, or even put it next to the cart only. That would be wonderful. I think enough chatting today. I was excited to tell you these things. I wanted to tell you several days ago, but too busy. Today I just delayed all the work first to talk to you, and now I have to go back to work. It's very late at night now, but I still can work. May God bless us all, protect us all, and love us all forever. Amen. Love you guys. God love you. I love you.
Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, is a world-renowned spiritual teacher, humanitarian, and artist. To learn more about her compassionate life and teachings, please visit suprememastertv.com/master.
Vegan, cause we don't want to bully the innocents.
The most powerful daily prayer for any time and before meditation, which is the order from God, and Supreme Master Ching Hai shares with us by His blessed grace.
We humbly worship, praise, thank, obey, and love God Almighty, the Most High, the greatest, for world vegan, world peace, and our soul liberation. We thank, love, praise the only Son of God, who is the ultimate Master for our salvation. We follow the teaching of all the saints and sages. We thank, love, and praise them, who are the representatives of God for our spiritual elevation.
Being vegan, having peace, doing good deeds, life is a feast.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/BMD.
మా కార్యక్రమాలు అందజేస్తున్నాయి అనేక భాషలలో. దయచేసి చూడండి suprememastertv.com/schedule మరియు suprememastertv.com/BMD.
Also, be sure to follow us on our socials: YouTube, Facebook, Getter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Nico Nico, Pinterest, Reddit, Substack, Telegram, Threads, TikTok, Truth Social, Tumblr, VK, and X, previously known as Twitter, in multiple languages by searching Supreme Master TV.